graph a line, I'm going to propose two methods. So for example, if you need to graph the line y is equal to 2x plus 5, you can use a table of value, and I suggest you take a minimum of 3 points, because if you have only 2 points and you messed up, then you won't know. But if you have 3 points and they're not in a line, then you will know. So for example, I'm going to start with -1. For my x, you can choose whatever point you want for x, but try to go maybe one in the negative, one in the positive, and I'm going to put it on my graph too. This is -1. Okay, so how do you find the y value? You know y is equal to 2x plus 5. So what you have to do is you just have to plug in your x value here. So now you know that x is -1. So we're going to write y is equal to 2 times -1 plus 5. You can use your calculator from now on. 2 times -1 is -2 plus 5 minus 2 plus 5 is the same as 5 minus 2. That's equal to 3. So at -1, my y value is 3. I'm going to choose another one. I'm going to check at 0. What happened at 0? Oh, sorry, wait, I can go and graph it. So at -1, I'm going to have -3. So -1, -2, -3. So my point is going to be here at -1, -3. I'm going to also put my number here. This is 1. I'm going to take green to check another point. So if I use x is equal to 0, how do I find y? I'm going to do the same thing. So 2 times 0 plus 5. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 5 is 5. So at 0, my point is 5. Oh, sorry guys, I just realized that I didn't graph my red point. Okay, my red point should be at -1, 3. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to put it here. Okay, sorry. My green dot is at 0, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My point is going to be there. Now you see that I'm going to need a third point. If I check with 2, it's probably going to be outside of my graph. So I'm going to use -2. So again, you plug it in your rule. So y is equal to 2 times -2 plus 5. 2 times -2 is -4 plus 5. -4 plus 5 is the same as 5 minus 4, which is 1. So at -2, I'm going to go at 1. And now you can see my 3 dots are on a line. So you can take your ruler and you can graph your line. So that's one way of doing it. The second way is you can use the initial value and the rate of change. So if you use the initial value and the rate of change, okay, you have to remember that y is equal to ax plus b. B is the first thing we're going to graph. It's your initial value. So that's the value of y when x is 0. You can see it on the y-axis. So I can go on my y-axis. I'm going to put my number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my initial value. I'm going to graph this. Step number 1. So step number 1, you graph your initial value. Then the rate of change, your a. So my initial value was my 5. My rate of change is 2. It's the number in front of my x. 2 is the same as 2 over 1. So 2 is the variation of the y over the variation of the x. So that means that if I move 1 to the right, I'm going to go 2 up. So you see I'm going to go outside of my graph. Is it going to be the same as -2 over -1? So if I'm here, I can go down 2, 1 to the left. So this is the variation here. This is the variation of the y over, wait, I'm going to put it in yellow. Here, variation of the y over variation of the x here. So you go 1, 2. So I'm starting from my point here and then I'm going down 2. So 1, 2, and back 1. And that way you do the same. You can take your line and you can graph your line. Okay, so there's two methods for you to graph your line. You can practice either one and they should give the same answer. Have fun!